everybody. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. It's our Monday live show. Our Monday morning quarterbacking show as we get to talk about. It's still 2 games to happen in the NFL tonight, so we're not through the slate. A lot of fantasy battles still to be determined, but man, a very, very newsworthy weekend of football for sure, between injuries, top-notch performances, some Lazaruses, coming back from the dead, like Ashton Genty for a lot of fantasy folks out there, and several others, baby. A lot of points thrown up there, and a Sunday night affair that goes 40-40 and ends in a tie after overtime. Come on. And what's up with the Green Bay Packers now? A loss and a tie in their last 2 weeks. Everybody was labeling them a couple of weeks ago upon acquiring Micah Parsons, the best team in the NFL. Really, even up to before this weekend, there was still plenty of people, even though they were sitting 1-2, that believed the Baltimore Ravens were the best team in the NFL. They now sit at 1-3 and were trounced by the Chiefs in Kansas City, much to my surprise. That was my lock of the week, Boy Green. I am still back in my chair that went on. So, c'est la vie on that one. Now, big trouble for John Harbaugh, who now has, I think, 6 defensive starters out with injury. Now, will any of them make it back this week? I don't know, but he was down 6 defensive starters. How do you survive that? Lamar Jackson, possibly a pulled hamstring. We'll see how serious it is, but they had to take him out of the game in the third quarter when the game was still in the balance. And we got to see Cooper Rush. Oh, boy.
That's right. Cooper.
Those bad Dallas memories. So we got all that. And obviously, we got the Jets tonight. But story A today, at least we get it for a day, Boy Green. It might be the only day of our live shows this whole year. We get to talk about my New York football Giants. Yes, my Giants got to win. We no longer are a drag of society. We got to win. And we went out and beat a team that nobody gave us a chance to beat. I mean, that's essentially the item there. No one gave us a chance to beat. Although,
well,
somebody in the football picks on Friday said, with everyone else over there and my chance to skunk Lurch, I think I'll take the Giants plus the 6.5. You didn't even need the 6.5, Boy Green. My Giants finally showing up. Good defensive effort all around. And obviously the insertion of Jaxson Dart, man, did that add some energy to the team between his running ability, escaping when pressure was put on him in the pocket, and then just making some really, really good passes down the field. And big news, obviously, coming out of that game, which we'll get to in a moment, Malik Neighbors goes down, and it doesn't slow Dart down and the Giants down at all. But Neighbors, perhaps going to be lost for a while. Could it be season ending? We'll get the diagnosis, I'm sure, this week. And Ed Valentine, our Giants insider, will probably have more information on this when we talk to him in a couple of days. But, man, that's just awful news for the Giants, despite a very, very good start for Jaxson Dart. So pick your poison, Boy Green, where you want to start on this Giants thing. A win, Jaxson Dart, Malik Neighbors. Take your pick.
Well, first off, I would just like to say, on me being the only one to pick the Giants to beat the Chargers, well, and we'll get into.
You never miss the opportunity, so
absolutely not.
Enjoy it while it lasts, pal. Enjoy it.
Hey, we'll get to the picks later this week, but I know there's one team that's above 500, and I know there's one team that may or may not have a sizable lead on this week's picks with 2 games to go. So we'll see what happens there. But no, let's start with the positive, right? Jaxson Dart gets his first start. Obviously, as we heard from some of the reporting, this was Brian Daboll's decision, and he let everybody know it, even though there's some in the building that said, I don't know, this seems a little early. Brian Daboll's like, we're doing this. I'm the coach. We're doing it. And you saw it after the game when Brian Daboll and Jaxson Dart went face-to-face, and they were smiling and hugging each other, and it was probably saying my job just got saved. So, I
don't know that it's saved yet, but
right.
I
just meant in the moment. Correct.
Yes.
Right.
You're right. I mean, this guy needed a win badly.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
needed a win badly. His team needed a win badly, and they got one. Now it's just one. The good thing is there might be 2. Because if they play anywhere near that caliber of football this coming week, they're getting the New Orleans Saints, who has been the doormat of the NFL, or one of a few, I guess, in the NFL this season. So certainly the Giants will have another opportunity to get another win. And now you're sitting at 2-3. and things don't look quite as bad. Now, the schedule after that is just brutal. Two matchups with the Eagles. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, this is not fun stuff to look out at the Giants' schedule and go like, all right, well, you get back at 500 here. I mean, it's a very, very steep hill. But this isn't really, to me, necessarily just strictly about wins and losses. This is about, can this guy, Jaxson Dart, over the next, bunch of time here, weeks, months, show that he is a number one, show that he was the right choice, show that the Giants not only made one, but two terrific draft picks in the first round of this past year's NFL draft. They need this badly. They need a franchise quarterback. He's a confident kid, there's no question, and he looks the part. I mean, he had some sidearm throws. The scrambling ability is terrific to have a guy that's mobile, and he can stand tall in the pocket sometimes too. And he's a good-sized guy. I mean, he's not quite as big as Josh Allen, but on a couple of those runs, I was like, boy, he looks a little Josh Allen like he's, he can get out there and hurt some people if he lowers the shoulder. You don't want him doing that all that often, but that was a lot of fun to watch, no question.
Yeah, and I wasn't there at MetLife Stadium. We will be in a couple of days at MetLife Stadium for a different game. But it seemed like from the shots, they did the pregame shots, because I was watching the pregame show before, that the energy was palpable. Ooh, Jaxson Dart. Ooh, first-round quarterback. Excitement for Giant fans. His family was there up in the press box. So Giant fans should be really encouraged. The quarterback position is the most important. He had great swagger. And I love that his first comments after the game were highlighting Russell Wilson and how much of a professional he is, that it would have been very easy for Russell to demand a trade or cut me or whatever, yes. Going from the man, and he has the C on his jersey, to being the guy, to turning around, and now Jaxson Dart's a guy only a handful of weeks into the season. So Dart gave his flowers to Russell Wilson, saying he's been a super big professional, and he loved how he, sort of still took him under his wing and how much pride he takes in that. But of course, there is a damper placed on all of this because Malik Neighbors, their superstar wide receiver, gets hurt jumping off that turf and slamming down, and the fear is that it is a torn ACL.
Weird. It was kind of a non-contact. It was like an awkward up and then an awkward down, I guess. And that's, it's so funny. When it's the non-contact, then you even worry more.
Of course.
That it's clearly something structural. It's just like when we see an Achilles, the guy just, nobody's hitting him, and he just moves that thigh, that calf, and then you'll know it right away. Yeah. And this looks bad. I mean, we're going to get a diagnosis, but all the competent NFL insiders are saying,
which would be out for the season for Malik. And again, that would be awful because that could impact, his rehab and start for next season as well. Right. And so if I'm the Giants, I'll just say this. I know they got the win, and this is exciting, and I don't know if wins are going to be the ultimate thing here for the Giants this season. But in terms of the development, boy, if I am the Giants, I would absolutely go out and try to acquire a pass catcher and try to see if that's possible, not just for this season, but if there is an opportunity out there to get a interesting receiver. Hey, A.J. Brown might be available from Eagles land, but whoever the guy is, I don't know if a divisional trade happens. I would try to do that for Jaxson Dart's development, because I think Darius Slayton is a very nice receiver, but I think they need some more action around him, and I think that would behoove the Giants to make a move in that world.
Yeah. That's because, again, some of the other guys, are playing better. Wandale looks good. Some of the other guys have been okay. Jalen Hyatt hasn't shown much again. I think that ship looks like it's sailed, and it's sailing right off the edge of the earth, on a flat earth. I think that thing is just not going to happen, and the Giants will look for another speed guy. They chose the wrong one, unfortunately. It does not look like he is going to be an NFL starter. So I think they got to look other ways, other places. But that's another disappointing draft pick. I mean, go through some of these disappointing picks that Dave Gettleman made over the years, and they just keep popping up, and they just keep resurfacing for the Giants over and over again. So I have to give Joe Shane credit, at least for the couple of drafts that he's drafted for the Giants. They've gotten a lot of good players out of those drafts. So he has been a good drafter. The record stinks, and there's no hiding it. But he has so far been a solid drafter, and the key to rebuilding a roster and rebuilding a franchise to me is always through the draft. You can do other things through free agency and get lucky in other areas, but to me, it's the draft is where you build your team. And Shane so far has been a pretty good architect. He's been bad at free agency, signing Daniel Jones, not signing Saquon Barkley, and some of the other things that have happened. But but he's been good in the draft, so we got to give him that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
It's just it's a good feeling. I hope you have this feeling when we get back together live on Wednesday, Boy Green, because your team goes out there tonight and tries to get itself a win, and it's a winnable game against the Miami Dolphins, who have also been playing poor football. So we'll see. Is the word in yet on Justin Fields? I know he was.
Oh, it's 100%. Yep, he's starting. Yep, he's cleared concussion protocol.
Okay, because I heard over the weekend it looked like he was lining up to clear, but he still had one more hurdle or something. They have all these steps to clear concussion protocol, so they need him back. I mean,
of course,
you don't want to roll Tyrod out there. In a game like this, you want to have your starter out there. So that is good news. I know he didn't play well the last time he played, but he's a weapon, and he provides. He creates problems for the opponent with those legs, even on a night when he's not throwing it well. So anyway.
Yeah, that should be exciting. Yeah, Joe Justin Fields is 100% back, which is great. He's getting right into the starting lineup, and he plays a terrible Dolphins defense. So that's a great return opportunity to score a bunch of points.
Yeah, because I mean, look, I'm not tip top here. I mean, the Giants are still, only have one win. They're a 1-3 team, but it's a better feeling. There's a better feeling in my gut today. They went out there, they competed, they showed stick-to-itiveness. That thing could have gotten away from them late
against one of the best teams in football.
And like I said, the calling card to me, if the Giants have even a respectable season this season, the calling card's going to have to be the defense. It just is going to have to be the defense. And the defense stood tall when it needed to in this game. There was some creativity shown by Shane Bowen, their defensive coordinator. It was nice to see. Let's just leave Abdul Carter out on the edge and stop playing around with, this guy's injured, we'll move him inside. That guy belongs on the edge. He's a speed rusher, he's a hybrid, between a linebacker and a defensive end. Just get him on the edge all the time. He's just going to wreak havoc out there. Put one of the other guys in the middle if you have to. Just leave him out.
By the way, Dexter Lawrence, get your fat ass in the end zone. Yeah. We almost had a chance at a thick six.
Sexy,
and he got there, and he got right there, and then the Giants ended up having to settle for a field goal. It was
that was brutal. That he ends up, falling down at the 2-yard line, and then they end up only getting a field goal out of it.
Come on, man!
So frustrating.
He was this close.
Yeah. You get first and goal at the 2. You're thinking, all right, we're going to get it anyway. You always think that as a fan, right? And then things start happening. You get the false start. All of a sudden, you're like, what's 100%. Happening?
Don't take anything for granted.
Yeah. You just can't. So, wow. But yeah,
let's give a quick shout out here, Lerch. By the way, real quick, we're streaming live on the Manchild Show Boy Green Digital Facebook page, the Manchild Show Boy Green Digital YouTube page, and my YouTube page as well at Boy Green 25. No matter where you guys are watching, especially on YouTube, make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe, because I see that we've got a lot of comments. We'll get into a lot more of these later, but I did see that Matt from Auburn said congratulations on the 315 subscribers so far. So it's growing, and we'll tease it later on our next prize that is going to be given away. But thank you, Matt from Auburn, and we'll get to more of your guys' questions and comments in a bit. Keep lighting them up in the chat.
Yeah, and by the way, today's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Bayberry Automotive, integrity in everything. You know what, Boy Green, let's take a quick early commercial. You'll say, find out a little bit more about our friends from Bayberry. We'll come back. We'll do some comments. Stick around.
Integrity is a word that some people just throw around in life. But at Bayberry Automotive, integrity is everything. Integrity of their mechanics, who are all experienced and certified. Integrity in the work they perform, with nothing but 5-star reviews from satisfied customers on Google. Integrity that goes along with family. A family-run business that treats you like one of their own. Integrity in everything. Bayberry Automotive. BayberryAutomotive.com.
Located on Route 57 across from Bayberry Plaza, the premier choice for auto repair in Liverpool.
All right, I'm actually headed over to Bayberry later this afternoon, Boy Green. My wife's car is getting a couple of things done. I think tire rotation, oil change, some of that maintenance stuff. So I'll be over there saying hello to John and all the fellas. You saw some of them there in the pictures. It is a family-run business. They're terrific. And I'll get the status update on location 2, because we must be close now, Boy Green. So I'm going to stop over there and find out how close we are to a second location in Liverpool, by the way, for our friends at Bayberry. They are really, really great at what they do. And having 2 locations is going to make it even that much more convenient for you to get your car serviced by our friends at Bayberry. All right. So that was headline A, is obviously
real quick, Lerch.
Jaxson Dart.
Let's get to breaking news. Breaking news coming in here.
News?
Yes.
Okay.
And it confirms, unfortunately, the sadness of what we just confirmed. Yes. Thank you to our number one Austrian Jet fan who just sent me this on Instagram, but we'll put it up here on the screen as well. Unfortunately, yes, Malik Neighbors will miss the entirety of this season, unfortunately, with a torn ACL. Adam Schefter, ESPN NFL insider, just confirmed this news. I'll throw it up here on our screen real quick. So it is official, unfortunately. Malik Neighbors, season-ending torn ACL against the Chargers. So real quick, Lerch, you can have your comment on it being official.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. I mean, it's just a huge bummer for Giants fans. This guy's a difference maker. He's their best offensive weapon. He draws attention, and that really helps other players like a Wan'Dale Robinson, like a Slayton, to get single coverage. And now those guys are going to get more attention. And what does that mean to the Giants passing attack? The good thing is he'll be back next year, but the bad news is now you got to go through this entire season working around that. And I don't know how many answers are out there. You said, hey, look, the Giants could look, out into the
free
world
agents, trade something. I don't know. Yeah.
Trade, how aggressive are the Giants at this stage of their evolution going to be?
Right.
I don't know. But that it just sucks. It sucks when you lose a player for the season, especially this early in the season.
And a player of this caliber, like he's just
he's the best offensive player. I don't think there's much debate about that among Giants fans. No. I mean, if Jaxson Dart becomes, the next thing, then maybe he's ultimately the best player on their offense. But right now, Neighbors is the best player on their offense. So to lose him, it's heartbreaking for Giants fans, no question.
By the way, guys, that's the cool thing. I mean, I wish we didn't have this unfortunate, sad news to talk about, but this is the breaking news video element. If you guys ever see anything, let us know as we're doing the show. We can react to that breaking news. So thank you, Hop on Pop. I see you out there, my dad, and number one Austrian Jet fan who sent that over on Instagram as well. So thank you guys for that info. And we'll react to all the news as it comes.
Yeah, no, I saw Hop on Pop. I saw a comment from him. Oh, yeah, here it is. Up there about the fantasy Boy Green. Are you playing your Pop? Now, I played your Pop last week. I didn't hear him popping off on that one because I took him out, man. I took him out last week. Very good battle. Went down to the Monday night game. I got a good performance on Monday night late in the game to eke him out. He had a very good week against me. It was a really, really good battle, but you're not doing too well against him this week?
No. I'm about to show this on screen because, my mama didn't raise a wuss, so I will show it on screen, unfortunately. But, I did not perform. And here's the honest truth, Lerch, is when you play in as many fantasy leagues as I do, you start running into, oh boy, first world problems. Yeah. And the first world problems is right. A player I was in love with during the pre-draft process, and our Champs League draft ended up being our last draft. So I went through several other drafts and I didn't get this player I wanted. And then in the Champs League, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to take him earlier because I just want him so bad because I think he's going to be good. And that player is George Pickens. And he looked great for me last night in the Champs League, 30 points plus. Great. Unfortunately, I played against him in the Chumps League. There it is on the screen on here.
Team, of course.
Yeah, my dad still has players playing tonight. He has 162 points. I have 93 points. I also have players playing tonight, but I don't think if Jesus was lining up on my fantasy roster, that would make any difference to this result. So yes, things did not go as well.
It's 1-3 in the Chumps League, Boy Green.
It could be. It could be, but the good news is the champs. I'm on top. I'm doing good, and I'm doing good in the Triple C. So I'm sandwiched. So I can cover myself no matter what, which is great. But yes, salute to Hop on Pop. But that's it. When you play in too many leagues, though, like I have George Pickens, I'm rooting for him. But technically, I should have been rooting against him for the Chumps League, and that's just a complicated beast.
Yeah, so far I've been off to a great start in fantasy in the
great
Chumps League. I'm going to move to 4-0, so I'm going to be undefeated in the Chumps League. In the Champs League, I'm going to be 3-1, barring a miraculous performance tonight out of my opponent's players. There's several players going tonight, but I'm very, very far ahead. And in the Triple C League, I'm in a battle. If I win, I'm going to get to 3-1. If not, then I'll end up 2-2. But good start across the board. I mean, none of those places are a terrible place to be. If you're one of those people that's 1-3 or 0-4, and particularly after this week, now you got problems. But if you're 3-1, if you're 4-0, even if you're 2-2, you're in the pack. If your team's scoring well, don't panic, you're fine. But when you get to that 1-3 or 0-4 level at this point, I mean, how many weeks is in a regular season of fantasy? I always forget the number.
13 or 14. It depends on your league, but 13 or 14 weeks.
You get out to 5-1, 6, 7-2. You're You don't have
some cushion.
You don't have that many weeks. You got the cushion. Now you can even lose a couple weeks. You're going to be fine. You're probably making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So a good start just matters so much in fantasy, and so much of it is random and luck. There were players that I was looking at that I loved that I wasn't in position to draft in some of these leagues, and thank God I wasn't, because I would have gotten them wrong. Like, for instance, I did like Ashton Genty. I wasn't willing to take him at the top of the first round, but I would have taken him at the bottom of the first round. I loved Brian Thomas, the wide receiver from Jacksonville, and he's been a disaster so far. He finally had
he got hurt too yesterday.
Yeah, but he had a decent showing. I think he got the double digits yesterday, but I mean, he's been bad for a first round pick. I would have gladly taken him at the bottom of the first round in any league I could get him. Luckily, other people picked him, or there was a better player available. Thank God I didn't end up with him. But then on the other side of it, I've seemed to have picked the right guys. I was telling you beforehand. Probably the reason I'm in the position that I'm in the Champs League is really, aside from I made 3 solid picks at the top. I went running back, and I went with Josh Jacobs. I went Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, and then Kyron Williams, and all of them have been rock solid. But so that's good. You expect your top guys to perform. You hope none of them are duds. I didn't get that. But then I hit on Rome Odunze and I hit on Tyler Warren. And I got those guys much later in the draft. So now I got 5 strong, before you even talking about anybody else on the team. That's how you climb the standings, and you stay up there in the standings when you hit on guys the right way. It looks like Warren is going to be terrific. Sure. He's on the right team, and they're getting him the ball. He's being targeted a lot. He ran one in for a touchdown yesterday.
I saw that. Thank you for taking one away from Jonathan Taylor. Really appreciate that.
Using him in all kinds. I love that. I'm like, this is fantastic. Yeah. So it's it's awful fun when things go right, and it really sucks when things go wrong in fantasy, and you're like, how did this happen to me? Brian Thomas, he was so good last year. Why is he so bad this year? It's hard to figure it out. It's hard to figure out this stuff in fantasy. So just
because we're in fantasy, Matt from Auburn says, don't forget to mention the Quad Cities. And I will do that for Matt from Auburn. That's fallen all the way down and hopefully plans on climbing back up. He is 2-1, and he's going to improve to 3-1 on the season. His opponent has some players playing tonight, but he has a very sizable lead, so he should be fine. But you never know with the fantasy football god. So anywho, Matt from Auburn looks very well. So Matt, hopefully at some point in 7 years, we see at some point. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do on Wednesday's live show. We'll give you official standings on all 4. Maybe you can get a screenshot of each. Everything obviously won't be official until after tonight. Right. It does look like we're going to have 1 4-0 team remain. We'll see. There's still players to be played, but it's looking very good for Big Al.
Who's also in here
from the Chumps League after falling out of the Champs, down to the Chumps, back in the Champs. There he is. Hello, Al. And Al looks like he's in line to go 4-0, which is no easy. And he'll be the only undefeated team in the Champs League if indeed he acquires that 4-0. But it does look like he's going to get it tonight. Don't want to put the whammy on it, though. And things are never over till they're over.
That's right.
I'm way in front, too, and it's not over till it's over. I never, crazy things happen in fantasy. But yeah, so that, you get off to those kind of things, and that's awesome. So yeah, we'll give a snapshot of all the standings in each of the leagues during our Wednesday show.
Yes.
We'll do that real quick, because we should give an update. There are a lot of people that are in our chat and that come to our shows that are in those leagues. And again, you can get in our leagues. You'll have to wait till next year, but reach out to Paul directly. You want to give me a Gmail or something, Paul, you can do that, or put something on the screen. But reach out to him directly. There you go. All the contact information for Paul right there. And say, I really would love to get in and play fantasy with you guys. Now, requirements are there's no quitting in these leagues. You play till the bitter end. The bottom 3 teams get relegated to the league below, and then you got to fight your way back up. There's a whole system, but you do get your name if you win on the blazing side of our wonderful trophies.
That's true.
Maybe you can showcase those on Wednesday too, Paul. You can show off the trophies now that we don't have a display. Are they behind you there somewhere?
They are. They're all up here in this area. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, but yeah, they're pretty cool.
But get on the waiting list. Long story short is what Manchild saying. Obviously,
just spots always open up. We had a couple literally on draft day this year. A couple of spots open.
Yeah.
We almost had a spot open up in our top league. Okay, at the last minute, and luckily the person who was in that spot got somebody to draft for them, or we would have been in a pinch and had to just bring somebody else into the league. Wow, you don't get into that league very easily. It's hard to get there, so someone could have gotten lucky. That's why you want to have your name on a waiting list.
100%.
Okay. I do want to talk about the Jets tonight as well. So let's delve into that a little bit, but maybe a little fun side story before we get to the Jets.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh and Liam Cohen, the former head coach of the Jets, who was fired, who now was a consultant for a bit and now is back to being the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, which is where he came from before he became the Jets head coach. he had an incident. There was something during the week. I'm going to let you tell the backstory, Boy Green, because I know you know all the details. But there was some chatter during the week, and then that chatter led to after the game on the field, the guy he was being chattered about and Saleh getting together face to face, and then people having to hold them back. So tell us a story.
Yeah. So here it is, folks. So Robert Saleh is the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. This week at the podium, he complimented, quote unquote, the Jacksonville Jaguars on their ability to steal signs legally.
Well, supposedly, it was a compliment. He did say stealing signs legally, but you could sense that maybe there was something he didn't like about it.
Correct. And I think we can all, I don't want to assume, I think Robert Saleh did that on purpose to say out loud, like, oh, wow, way to go on sign stealing. It's legal, but nice job. Like he was sort of taking a shot at them. Yeah.
So in other words, we could all, for those of us that are old enough, go back to that scene in the 10 Commandments when Moses goes up on the mount. Yeah. All right. And the God appears and strikes the lightning to the tablet and tells Moses, go back and tell the people my 10 commandments. And one of them is, thou shalt not steal, right? That's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. All right. And so I think that, Saleh, he was being cutesy, complimentary, but really backhanded compliment, kind of, they legally steal. Like those two words are an oxymoron. That's not, those two don't go together. Legally steal. No, thou shalt not steal is what the Lord said. There's no other side of that, but you can do it legally. No, there's no legally way to do it. Okay, go ahead.
So Robert Saleh, again, 49ers defensive coordinator, accuses the Jaguars of, again, doing a really good job legally stealing. Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen, of course, by their media was asked, hey, did you hear what Saleh said? And, Liam sort of kept it professional at the podium saying, hey, man, it takes a lot of hard work to do what we do to interpret signs and read based on formation. And he just said, hey, it takes a lot of work to do that. Then we get to after the game, Robert Saleh and Liam Cohen are both on the field, but Saleh's like dapping it up with other players and seemingly meeting and hanging out with them. When Liam Cohen points to Saleh and says, keep my bleeping name out of your mouth. And actually, we have
a Will Smith kind of situation, huh?
Yeah, it was. There was no slap from what we understand. But I'm going to throw this up on the screen. And, we here at MC Show Digital do not endorse the comments I'm about to put up on the screen. Okay. It's the internet space, but I just want to be able to show you guys. We won't play the video, but in the unedited version, shout out to Action Sports Jax that put this on here. Apparently Liam Cohen told Saleh to keep his bleeping name out of his mouth, which Saleh and they went back and forth saying, quote, I'll blank your world up. You don't want to blank with me. I will blanken end your blanking life. And it got pretty intense.
What Saleh supposedly said back to him?
Apparently, yes. But if you listen to the audio, the only part you hear is Liam Cohen's first part, "Keep my name out of your mouth," and then the audio is in
it's garbled.
It's garbled. So you can't understand who's saying what to who. Okay. So it all just sounds like white noise. Okay. So again, whether or not you can listen to it properly. But long story short, some drama. Guess what? Jacksonville went into San Francisco and beat the undefeated 49ers. And that was one of my favorite picks of the week. I just had a weird instinct. Sometimes you just gotta rely on instincts and gut. I was like, I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Brock Purdy's supposed to be back for the 49ers. They're undefeated. They're at home. East Coast, West Coast, all that. But I don't know. I just got a feeling. Got to go with my gut and pick the Jaguars. That's what happened. So
I'm headed right back out of my top position in picks after this week. I need both games tonight just for respectability, for crying out loud. Oh, it's going to be an awful week if I lose both games tonight. And I'm lone wolfing on Cincinnati. I don't know what I was thinking on that, but I need them to come through, man. So I will be a very, very big Bengal fan tonight, please.
Hey, lone wolf picks can sometimes work for people, I hear.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on Friday, but amazing. We had 8 lone wolf picks. And for folks that haven't watched our NFL picks, which we do every Friday, a lone wolf is, we have about 7 people that pick, and then we add in the fans. The fans are picking after and during the time that we're giving our picks, so the fans don't get calculated until before the games start. But so we don't have the fans tally in yet. But outside of the fans, I think there are 7 people in our group that pick,
including the fans. Yep.
And so a lone wolf is everyone else is on the other side, and you're the only person on.
And again, this is against the spread, not picking straight up.
Now, I'm going to just let my memory serve here. Maybe in all the years we've been doing this, we've been doing this for many, many years, going back all the way through the radio days. Yeah. I think the most lone wolves we've ever had in a single week was somewhere in the neighborhood of like 4 or 5.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just, usually we get 1 or 2,
Yeah,
it's just the way it is.
It's rare. Right.
But this Friday, with me, you, and Matt, and giving the picks of all the experts and former intern Ed, we had 8 lone wolves, 8 games where only one person was on one side and everyone else was on the other side. And so far, that Dallas game now has to get thrown in the mix.
Correct. Of course it does. Yeah.
So, and there are 2 more lone wolves tonight. Matt Lombardo is lone wolf on Miami tonight. We're all on the Jets. That sounds bad for us.
That's a great sign.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And then I told you the Manchild is lone wolf on Cincinnati, getting 7.5 points from Denver, which nobody liked that game. And I was just like, I got to get on the other side of something here today. All right. So, but the lone wolves, we had 8 lone wolves, a record ever in the history of picks, 15 games, and 8 of them, that's more than half, were lone wolf games. And it was different people, although Paul made a point of getting on some lone wolves because he's at the bottom of the pack and needs to climb. And he's just like, I don't care, I'm going on the other side. So you did that a couple times, I think probably purposefully. But long story short, right now, 6 in the bank, 2 to come, 5-1. Lone wolf over the rest. Nice. It just shows, I've said it a million times when we make the picks, there's something good about being a lone wolf because it just seems like more often than not, the majority's wrong. We just see a game like we see the Packers creaming the Cowboys. We're just like, oh, come on, they're just going to cream them. Mike is going to go in there. He's going to be angry, and they're a better team, and they're coming off a terrible loss, and they're just going to be fired up, and nothing. Same thing with the Ravens. Everyone saw the Ravens, myself included. Oh, the Ravens. I don't care about going into Kansas City. Come on. The Chiefs are a shell of themselves. The Ravens are PO'd. There's no way to go into 1-3. Nothing. Blown out. Yep. So football's crazy. Picks are crazy. It's so hard to do these picks against the spread. It's so hard to just be over 500. All right. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So this year has been extremely difficult to predict too. It's just been a really, really erratic year so far in 4 weeks of picks. So we'll see where it'll go. 2 more to go, but could it be 7-1? I mean, it's possible. It could be 7-1 in lone wolves. That's crazy.
So let's see. So we'll use that to transition to it. You said you want to talk about this Jets-Dolphins game tonight. Matt Lombardo, our NFL insiders on the Miami side for a lone wolf opportunity. Both teams are 0-3. It's desperation time. I'm not sure this is what the ESPN execs had in mind when they said, Jets-Dolphins, AFC's battle, Monday Night Football, Week 4. That should be a lot of fun. I imagine they were not in that camp, but now they're 0-3. Mike McDaniel could be fired at any day. Aaron Glenn is seeking his first victory as a head coach. Justin Fields makes his return. Miami's been sort of a mess, although their most recent game against the Buffalo Bills, they showed a lot of chutzpah on Thursday Night Football. So we'll see. To me, this is a must-win game for the New York Jets. Not for playoffs or any of that, whatever. 0-3, 0-3. One team's going to be 1-3. Sure, maybe one of these teams could get to the playoffs, but that's not what I'm talking about. Just for, the program, showing results based on the things you said that, our players buying into what AG's saying. It's a lot easier to buy in when you win games, and whatever you're selling is obviously translating to wins. And Miami stinks, but the Jets stink. So the Jets need to find a way to win this game. It's must win. You have to win it. And then hopefully some momentum, as we'll talk about a little bit later in the show for our Jets Cowboys. And I see you guys have questions about that, and we'll get to that later. But, the Jets need momentum here. And quite frankly, they just need a win. You just talked about how great it was for you to, marinate on this Giants victory that you got this year, which Jet fans have not experienced yet. This season, and that's what Jet fans are craving. That's what they're starving for. And even if it comes against a division rival who's 0-3, it doesn't matter. A win's a win against any opponent. It doesn't matter. No excuses. Stack the victory and move on.
Yeah, they got to get one. I'm telling you, you're going to feel a lot better as a human being just getting one. I feel a lot better today as a Giants fan. The record still stinks, but it's just nice to be coming off a Sunday with a win. Coming off a weekend with a win.
Victory
and I hope
Monday.
it does happen for the Jets tonight. So we'll be obviously be watching it. We'll talk all about it later in the week, and Paul will talk about it on his morning show. While we're on the Jets, Paul, let's talk about your event because it is this coming Sunday, and we're both going to be there. I've ordered my gear.
Nice.
It's supposed to arrive tomorrow.
Okay.
And I ordered something for my son and something for myself.
Nice. Okay.
So he was very happy. I sent him a picture of what I ordered for him. He's like, "Oh, that's awesome, Dad." So
okay, he
was
approves.
very happy with his attire.
Okay.
I did go the jersey route. I don't have any Jets jerseys. Okay, I'm going to get one for this occasion.
All right.
I don't know if I want to tell anybody until I'm there.
Keep it a surprise. That's fine.
Yeah, I think we'll keep it a surprise.
All right.
Here's what I will say.
Okay.
I will say two things. Number one, it is a very unique jersey. And number two, it is a current player. So those are the two things I'll leak out. So current player, and it is very unique. Those are the two things I'll say about the jersey that I ended up ordering. I looked at a lot of different players.
I think I know what it is now, but we'll see what happens. I'm all good for surprises. That'll be good.
And I don't think you'd get the player, Boy Green. I don't think you would get the player.
Interesting. Okay, so I'll write down. We'll do our draft thing. I'll write it down on a note, put it in my pocket. And we'll see how that translates. That'll be good. So yes, let's talk about that event again. For Jet fans, we're worried about tonight and winning this game. That's what's most important. But of course, I've been asked, so let's talk about it. The Jets-Cowboys game. We will be hosting a Jets-Cowboys tailgate party extravaganza, which is going to be great. It's coming up this Sunday. That is Sunday, October 5th for the Jets-Cowboys game. And it's going to be great. We're hosting a meet and greet the night before on Saturday night. Chef Kevin Gilbert, he'll be hosting us at his restaurant, the Cloverleaf Tavern. And it should be a wonderful time. We're going to have at the Jets game 60-plus Jet fans. At the meet and greet the night before, I think we're at 35 to 40 Jet fans right now for that event. So it's going to be terrific. Manchild, let me get to each of the questions. I know a lot of people asked questions about this. Number one,
I will not be at the meet and greet. So if anybody is asking that, I apologize. But I'd like to spend a little bit of time with my son while I'm down there because I don't get to see him very often. So we're going to do a whole thing together on Saturday day and night. I'm not even going to arrive in New York until Saturday, probably around lunchtime. And I've got a long drive down and a long drive back. I have to get back Sunday night back to Syracuse because I've got a class I teach at 8:00 in the morning on Mondays, just like I did this morning, which is why you just saw me yawn there a minute.
Yeah.
So that's I have my challenges in terms of making the trip, but I wanted to make this trip. It's going to be a blast. So I won't be at the meet and greet. I obviously will be at the tailgate and the game, for sure.
Yeah, he will be. I see Callie's dad asked, are you still excited for the next weekend? I absolutely am. Yeah, I don't give a flying what the records are. Time. It's about the experience. It's about the people. We've got people that are Jet fans or Boy Green Coffee Club members that are flying in from California, North Carolina, Florida. We got people flying in from all over the place, and it just speaks to the camaraderie and the chemistry and the everything of the room of all the people that just want to see each other, meet each other for the first time after all these virtual interactions. So absolutely. I see Cowie's dad asked, do we have the parking passes yet? And just to get into the weeds real quick, tomorrow or Wednesday, if anyone's coming to the tailgate or the event with us, you have access to the cheapest possible parking pass available, which are gold level parking, and they should be $45. And the Jets will give us a special discount code, a link that you guys will all be able to click. If you provided me some sort of email and you bought a ticket from me, you guys will get an email about it and say, hey, if you guys would like to purchase a parking pass, it's up to you. Click this link and you guys will be able to do so at the cheapest possible price. So I should get that somewhere in the next 48 hours from the New York Jets. So that will be provided to you guys. And yes, it will be D1 for anyone that just come into the game and maybe they're not sitting with us. If you'd like to come stop by and say hello, take pictures, hang out, anything, we'll be in the parking lot D as in dog, D1. That'll be coming up on Sunday. The tailgate time is sort of 9 to noon, but as soon as we set up, we'll be waiting outside the gates at 8:00 to get ready to set up. And as soon as we set up, it'll be available. And Chef Kevin Gilbert will have catered food. You guys would have had to purchase a tailgate ticket for that. That is not free, and that is sold out. So sorry, folks, you can't buy any more of those tailgate tickets. You either hit it already when you purchased it, or if you missed out, then try again next year, because hopefully me and Chef will be doing this every year moving forward. But it'll be great for me and Lerch. This will be our first MC Show digital event that we've done before. So that's going to be a lot of fun together as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. Really, to me, I mean, everybody knows I'm a Giants fan, but I don't mind the Jets, and I root for the Jets, kind of secondarily. The thing that I love is just the idea, and this I've never done. I have never gone to a game with 60 fans of a given team and sat in the same section with them, met them beforehand, broke bread, drank beers, had some food, and then we go into the game together as a unit, all right, to root for one team, right? And I will definitely be rooting for the Jets that day. as a Cowboy hater. I know that there are a few Cowboy fans in this group. I know your dad is coming. He's a diehard Cowboy fan. Just keep him far away from me, Boy Green. Far away from me. So, but, we're going to essentially have, in the neighborhood of 60 rabid Jet fans, some, as Boy Green said, traveling from other worlds, essentially, across the country to come to this fun event. So it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the camaraderie. That's why we all follow sports anyway, right? We follow sports because, we have kinship. We root for the same things. We root for the same outcomes. It's just a lot of fun. That's what makes sports great. It's why I wanted to cover sports when I started doing this, 30 plus years ago. And it's been a great ride. And have a chance to do fun stuff like this, and for a change, not be media, but just be fan, enjoying a tailgate, enjoying a football game without any other thought other than I'm here to have fun and have a good time. That's going to be fantastic. So I'm gloriously looking forward to it.
So it should be awesome. I see Badshaw. I think he's spending like the week in New York, because I see he says he's 16 hours away. So enjoy the week in New York. Badshaw, I know you're coming up from Arkansas. He says, what's the best pizza to get 30 minutes from MetLife? Any Jersey people in the audience want to let him know. Again, Chef Kevin Gilbert's
that would be Jersey side.
Because
you're not, and I tell you, going to Manhattan, and there are some unbelievable pizzas like the Original Ray's. I mean, there are some phenomenal places in Manhattan, but Manhattan's going to be more like, they may say 30 minutes, but by the time you get in there and you park and you deal with the riffraff and all that kind of crazy stuff. So, yeah, Manhattan's, that's an hour probably just because of all the noise you got to deal with, and who knows what bridge you're going over, what tunnel you're going through. Is that thing clear in that moment in that day? So you bet Jersey has good pizza too. New York is where it's really at, but Jersey has good pizza, and there definitely got to be some great pizzerias in New Jersey. And Badshaw, I can't recommend any because I'm very rarely in New Jersey, very rarely in New Jersey. I never know where I'm going in New Jersey. It's a very confusing place with all its crazy routes, and there's no place to make U-turns in New Jersey.
Yeah.
All those cement barriers on all the routes, and you just have to go like 10 miles in order to turn around.
Yeah, it's the worst.
So you don't make mistakes when you're driving in New Jersey without knowing you're taking the long detour, all right?
Yeah.
Jersey's a little crazy to drive in, but I'm not a Jersey guy, so I can't give you a recommendation on pizza, but maybe there's somebody out there in the audience that can.
Yeah, so hopefully in the comment section. By the way, Badshaw, you have 3 raffle tickets to our contest, so appreciate the super chat coming through. Thank you kindly. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Again, we're streaming live on the Manchild Boy Green Digital YouTube page and my YouTube page, along with our Facebook page, Manchild Boy Green Digital as well. Again, we're only, Lerch, I don't know if you have it by you, our gift for 500 subscribers. Is that within reaching range? Okay, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
So, folks, here it is real quick. We are at 315 subscribers on the NC Show Digital YouTube channel. Once we reach 500, we're giving away this item that Lerch is about to be full screen for. Lerch,
Cleveland Highbore XL driver. All right. It was donated by our friends at Play It Again Sports. So I thank the folks over at Play It Again right here in Syracuse in the DeWitt Town Plaza. It is still wrapped into paper, so this is not a used club. Play It Again does specialize in selling used equipment and saving you money, but this one's brand spanking new. It's adjustable, all right, in both here on the shaft itself, so you can adjust for between 9 degrees and up to 12 degrees of loft. It even has a little weighted thing here in the back that's adjustable. Brand new, stiff shaft, nice little golf pride grip. Beautiful, beautiful. It's a $400 retail. And once we get to 500 subscribers, which are only about $1.85 away, let's try and grow that number quicker. Then we are going to give it away to one of those lucky people. I don't know if you saw our photo last week. We did give away the David Tyree autographed Giants picture, framed and everything. And what luck for me that it ended up, Paul draws the number. It ends up being someone that lives right here in central New York, Phil Larmer. And I just literally text Phil, and we met up the road. We didn't even live that far apart from each other. We met up the road, and I handed it to him, and I took a quick picture. So I know you posted that on social if anybody wants to go check it out, but that Tyree is no longer on my wall. My wall is very bare right now. Bare and barren. I've got to find some other nice trinkets to put on my wall, but I'm still kind of my studio is still, my home studio is still evolving. Yes. Like there are things to come in my home studio. I am working on a new sign, a permanent sign. This is a portable sign that we use for many, many years in our radio world. You can still see our radio logo back there. I want to get one with our cool new logo. We're digital. But I still do love this sign that's over my shoulder. So hopefully a new sign to come. And there's some other cool things. I'm going to put up some soundproofing in this room so to really quiet it down. So still work to be done here, but that's part of the evolution of moving from digital. You can't just do it all in one fell swoop. So
of course. And by the way, guys, I just want to remind you that it's free on my channel. I mentioned, right, Bad Trust spent $2 on a super chat. He's in for these purchased raffle tickets on my channel for the MC Show digital channel. Our current giveaways we're doing are free. FREE. All you have to do is subscribe, which is free to do. And if you don't know how, just go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. I'll throw it up here on the screen so you guys can see it right here. youtube.com/MC Show Digital. So if you're watching on Facebook right now, open up a new tab. If you're on your phone, open up the YouTube tab. Or YouTube app, rather. If you're on any computer, you can jump on over as well and just go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. And if you hit the bell notification, every time we drop a piece of content, whether live or pre-recorded, you guys will get notified for it, just like Big Al learned earlier today on our YouTube channel. So take full advantage of it, everybody. You get all this awesome content and a chance to win free stuff. And if you're subscribed at 317, you're in for the giveaway for this 500 and every other free giveaway we do moving forward. So be a part of our growing family. We've only been doing this a couple of months. It's been a crazy, amazing journey, and hopefully we could do it for a lot, for forever more after. So MC Show Digital right there on YouTube.
I think it also, I got, like I said, there's cool stuff from the studio that we're still going to give away. So there's a lot of cool things, some cool Jim Boeheim autographed posters that especially folks here locally in Central New York would love. One of them's autographed. Here's some cool other things that I think I'll eventually throw into the hopper, Boy Green. It's like I'm giving away my personal collection.
Yeah, wow, okay, nice.
A Bobby Mercer autographed baseball.
Let me go full screen.
Really nice.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, it's a nice autograph.
Beautiful Bobby Mercer autographed baseball. Okay. So for you nutty Yankee fans, I don't think my wife will let this go out the door, but I wish I could. This is a Whitey Ford.
Ooh,
harder to see the autograph.
Wow,
getting a little faded.
Oh yeah, look at the dirt on that too.
Whitey Ford autographed baseball. And this was a game ball. This ball was played with, was caught in the stands, and then it was autographed after the game by Whitey Ford, and that was given to me given to her a number of years ago. I don't know if she's going to let me give it away. But, there'll be things like that. I have some really, really cool stuff that I've collected over the years. And, to be honest with you, I just don't have a place for it. I moved myself into a townhome. I don't have a lot of space where I am. So I wish I had a gigantic man cave, and I would probably put all this stuff up on the walls and on shelves, but I don't.
This can go to someone who can appreciate it.
Right, exactly. I would love for it to go to another sports fan who appreciates it and does have a cool man cave or something cool, a cool place to put this in their house. So why not? So so we'll be doing that, all in the hope of increasing the size of our community, getting out there as a bigger entity. Paul and I were, I was in radio for 25 years in Central New York. It took a long time for us to build up an audience and to have, a very successful radio show. And we've had to basically hit the restart button, to come over with digital. Now it's been fun and it's been exciting, but I want to see those numbers go way, way up. And I thank every single one of you, by the way, who's in here now, every single one of you who has already clicked the subscribe button, every single one of you who, every day goes in there and hits the like button when we're doing things that you like. But we want to grow this community into something substantial so that we have a real following, and, it'll only give us more power to give away bigger things, better things, cooler things when we become more of a powerful entity. Even in terms of, our guest reach, we have always been really, really good in being able to get big name guests, and I'm sure we're still going to be able to get some more. But, the bigger our community is, the bigger our chances are that we can bring in some really, really some heavyweights into the show. So we're going to do that, but we need your help to get there. And obviously, that's one of many ways. And hey, why not? Free stuff, baby. Free bleeping stuff. That's always fun.
Amen. So again, long story short, we can't wait for the event, which again is coming up this weekend. The Jets, of course, have a game tonight. We hope they stack one up and then they can get another one over the weekend. So Jets Cowboys, again, Sunday, October 5th, we will be there. So if you're in the area, feel free to stop by our tailgate, which will be in D1. Catered food from Chef Kevin Gilbert. Shout out to Chef. And then also Luby Super Jets fan is bringing a DJ with the Sprinter Beast.
Yes,
that will be
music there going on, huh?
Yeah, so music, food. Hep is bringing his guitar.
Trailer with giant speakers on it or something.
Yeah.
here for the
It's
music.
very interesting. For those who have never seen a Sprinter before, the back opens up
Yeah.
into a DJ booth, and there's TVs in there and all kinds of things. And
love
Luby goes to every Jets game, and he plays
Okay.
the Boy Green Daily Show live at MetLife Stadium for fans to watch, which
Does
is
he
super
really?
cool. Yeah, so
Wow, good
that's
for him.
cool that we get to see that. So for anyone that's making the travels to Miami tonight, so big shout out to all you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, meet and greet Saturday night, October 4th, 7:30 at Cloverleaf Tavern there in Caldwell, New Jersey. And then we'll be there, of course, for the game the next day. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And salute to all you guys. We'll keep you updated with any updates for parking passes or things of that nature throughout the week. So just stay tuned to your emails and the shows, of course, and you'll be updated accordingly.
Yeah, and just a quick little aside here. If you're down there too, Paul and I are planning on doing just a mini shoot, you call it or whatever. We're just going to shoot some pictures, some video while we're at the game, while we're together, while we're with, this big cluster of fans. And so part of the deal too is, you can get into some of these videos with us. We were going to have a show open like Paul has for his show, for the beginning of our show every day. Because if you notice, we usually just kind of pop up on the screen and we have a little music. And we've always had an open for years. We had a theme song for Bud and the Manchild. We still play it when Bud Poliquin comes on with us on Tuesdays. So I'm used to having a show open and a way to come into the show. We've been just kind of coming in, quote, cold in this world, but we are way ahead of the curve, and we were going to get our show open done. We have our graphics guy lined up, everything to do it. And then we said, you know what, let's wait until after we go down to New Jersey and we can get some video that we can take with the fans and so on and so forth. So I may have to, dare I say, strip off my brand new Jets jersey for some video content, because I need to be for our show open who I normally am. So that Eli Manning jersey you see over my shoulder there will probably be in my car, and I'll throw that on and we'll do some Giants Jets, juxtaposition. I know that we're with a group of Jet fans, so we'll need a little cooperation from both sides. But we'll shoot some video that we hope to be in the show open. So you can end up in our show open by helping us shoot some of this video and being part of the video, being part of kind of the energy that we're going to put into our new show open. And my friend, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure he's wondering, but hopefully not too much longer. He won't be wondering. But my good buddy and my former bandmate, because I was in rock and roll bands for years back in the day, Nicky Lamangino. Nicky caught us a show open, and we actually have the music. We have a music track. Nicky sang the lead vocal on it too. He cut it all by himself, played all the instruments and everything on this. So he's a one-man wrecking crew, and he recorded it. He sent it to me, and I love it. All right. And we're going to use it for the show open, but we need to accompany it with video and want to just have some cool, exciting scenes that kind of bring to the viewer, to the listener, what our show is all about. So we're going to get the last few pieces for our show open down there at MetLife this coming weekend, and then we'll get it cut, and hopefully within a couple of weeks, I don't know how long it's going to take the graphics guy to turn it around, we'll have our show open, and we'll start opening our show every day with the brand new Manchild show with Boy Green Digital open. So that's always fun. You kind of got an intro to your show, and so that's coming down the pike. We've decided to have patience and do it right rather than rush it to the table and not have it be as pleasing as it could be. So we figured this would be a great opportunity. We're going to be together and with some fans. So we'll do some cool stuff down in MetLife. So that's all coming your way too.
Yes, it should be a lot of fun. So let me see if we missed any questions, Lerch. We can just wrap
do that. And while you're doing that, just a couple other things I'll hit on. Okay.
Yeah.
Lamar, obviously Lamar Jaxson, what's that injury going to mean? The Ravens are already in dire straits. Now, is he going to miss multiple weeks? That could be big trouble for the Ravens. The last two times the Ravens have started the season 1-3, they have missed the playoffs. So this is an indicator that they might not make the playoffs. This is a team that people had going to the Super Bowl. This is a team that people had winning the Super Bowl this year. They might not even make the playoffs based on what their history tells us. The 40-40 tie game, we got to try and get a little bit on that before we get out of here today, Boy Green. And I will mention as a side note, I know we're very football focused this time of year, but the collapse of my Mets and having a chance on the last 2 days of the regular season, just simply to win a game, to get into the playoff against, frankly, a lousy team in the Miami Marlins. And if you remember, if you go back and look at our shorts, you remember Manchild, guaranteed. Okay, I made that dopey Joe Namath guarantee, except Namath got it right. I got it wrong. I guarantee the Mets they're not going to miss the playoffs. And sure enough, they found a way in the last 2 games of the regular season to go loss. And with the other team losing alongside them, let the other team waltz in.
Backdoor.
The Reds lose yesterday. All the Mets had to do is beat the lousy Marlins, and they couldn't get it done. So very, very sad times for Met fans and Steve Cohen, who spent all that money, and the Mets don't even get into the postseason. Not that we would have done any damage in the postseason, because that starting pitching is atrocious, and that better be, project number one here during the offseason. But, man, what
a waste of career Juan Soto year. That's
brutal.
Just
Brutal.
Awful. So a couple of comments here, hopefully to cheer up Manchild here. Hit the like button, T-Town Jet. Appreciate that. Let's try to do that. I appreciate that. Matt from Auburn, our guy Matthew Bates on YouTube, said he was at the Saints-Bills game yesterday that was up in Buffalo. And from what he saw, Brandon Cook scored that touchdown, which was a touchdown, but wasn't a touchdown. They reviewed it and called it incomplete. So sorry about that, Matt from Auburn. For anyone rooting for, that game to be even more competitive, the Saints did cover that very massive spread, but still, nonetheless, there. And I see Phil says, BG, up for a little wager in Yanks Red Sox. So for Lily earlier today gave me a $50 bet for the Yankees Red Sox, and if Yankees win, I'll have to pay. If Red Sox win, he'll have to pay. And that money gets donated to our charity. We've raised over $2,000 for our Wounded Warrior Project raffle. So thank you, everybody, for contributing to that. So we're over $2,000, and we still have a couple more days to add a little bit more to that pile. So that bet with for Lily on this morning's show is all for Wounded Warrior Project money. So sure, Phil, why not? I'm just throwing money left and right, apparently. So why not throw a little bit of that in there?
Some guesses out there on the jersey. It's a Tyrod Taylor jersey.
That would make sense. Jets, Giants connections. Yep.
That's a no.
Oh, right. So it's not Tyrod.
I'm not going to answer every question on this, but it is not a Tyrod Taylor jersey. Okay. And as you know, I didn't even love Tyrod as a Giant.
You didn't. You hated him.
That would not be. Hate is strong, but I didn't want to see him in the game.
Yeah, right. Well, we're both in that range now, because I'd rather only see him in the game if injury. So, Ty God, sorry. I'd rather see Justin Fields in the starting lineup.
Yes, and Badshaw, I did not. Yeah, he said, didn't you pick the Giants? I did not. Boy Green was the only one. Lone wolfed the Giants game. I could have jumped on it because Paul and I were the last two to pick on that game. We rotate around. If you watch our NFL picks, we try to make it so that, I don't pick last all the time. Paul doesn't pick last all the time. Sometimes he's waiting to pick last because he's in last right now. He wants to get the lone wolves when he can. I was like, no, you pick. I still go after you. I get a chance if I want to go lone wolf to go lone wolf. But and I don't often change my picks anyway. I usually kind of stick to my guns, but occasionally I do. And when I do, I usually say, all right, I'm switching my pick. You guys, something you said convinced me, whatever. And I'm almost always wrong when I do that, by the way, too. So I should just stop doing it. So there you go. But anyway, that's the way that goes down.
All right, so here let's just get this bet in. Phil wants to do it. $25 and you're on. So here's how it'll work. If Red Sox end up winning, then you will donate $25 to my Wounded Warrior Project charity. Vice versa, if the Yankees end up winning, I will donate $25 to the charity. So the money goes to charity no matter what. So Phil, virtual handshake, you're on. I'm all for raising money for a charity. Wounded Warrior Project is a very special cause to me. So Phil, 100%. Let's do it together.
All right,
That's
so
awesome.
$25. You got the Red Sox. He's got the Yankees straight up.
Okay, here we go.
Is that that's going to be a best of 5, right? That's
Let me pull that. Yeah, what are the latest MLB rules?
Once the Mets didn't make it, I literally was like, okay, I don't care about baseball players. So I don't even know who's playing each other. And I don't know
when is it.
I know the Mets would have played the Dodgers, which would have been awful.
Yeah,
murdered. But they would have played the Dodgers had they made it. But I don't know what we got the wild card piece first, and then the rest. So the wild cards are now 2 out of 3. And then, for those that aren't in the wild card, then obviously the first round still remains in baseball, the best out of 5.
Oh, okay. There you go. Then that's it. Yeah, there you go.
So for those two, it's got to be best out of 5, right?
Yeah. Yes, right. If that's what you just said, then it's best of 3. Phil says so. Thank you.
Oh, it is best of 3. Okay, so it is the wild card matchup, right? Because the Yankees. Had that
4 and 5 seeds.
So the Yankees, right? They didn't like Toronto won the division.
Toronto did, yes.
Yeah. So right. So, the Yankees are
best of 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so 4-5 Red Sox, Yankees, best of 3. Let's see what happens. So, Phil, let's go, baby. Let's go. All for charity, which I'm all for. So I got to keep track of all these bets, apparently, because I keep adding more to them. So let me write that down in my notebook. Great.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I got the playoff bracket in front of me. So let me just tell people so I don't be inaccurate here. The Tigers are the 6th seed. They play the 3rd seeded Guardians in the best of 3. All right, and then the winner of that series will play the Mariners in a best of 5.
Okay.
The Yankees and Red Sox play in a best of 3 starting at Yankee Stadium, and that'll be tomorrow night, and then the winner plays the Blue Jays, and then
Correct. Who have a bye,
advance from there.
right.
And on the NL side, it's the Reds against the Dodgers. That would have been the Mets, but it's not. The Reds against the Dodgers, the 6-3. So the Dodgers are wild carding. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
All right. And the Padres and the Cubs are the other wild card. The winner of Reds Dodgers plays the Phillies. The winner of Padres Cubs plays the Brewers, and then we advance.
And we move on. Yep.
So there you go. That's the baseball playoffs, and my Mets, sadly,
sorry, man,
not a part of it. Not a part of it. Ooh.
Brutal.
Okay.
So you wanted to, 44 to tie. Yeah, 100%.
Right. So you stayed up for it. I admitted to you. I stayed till the end of regulation, and I just this is unbelievable.
Back and forth, a lot of fun.
Final kick of the game to tie it. They get down the field. It was back and forth. Who's going to have the ball last? It's probably going to win this game. Then they end up only being able to tie it. So it goes into overtime, and I said, that's it. I can't do it. I can't stay. And then they both kicked a field goal in overtime. So tell us what happened in the OT and how scintillating a game was it. I hate games that end in ties, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't stay up for this nonsense because I like to see a result. The result was the same as the regular, regulation.
Of course, which again, what ultimately, first off, just to explain it, the NFL overtime rules have changed for the regular season. They are now the same as the playoffs. If the Cowboys, who got to receive the ball first in overtime, if they go down and score a touchdown, Green Bay still has a chance to go down and score a touchdown themselves. So you both get an opportunity. The only way in which you don't is if the Cowboys, who received the ball first, suffered a safety on their opening drive, then the game is immediately over. And same thing for any defensive turnover, like a pick six or something, the game would have been over. But in all reality, in a normal situation, both teams get a chance. And the only other unique rule is there's only 10 minutes in overtime. So if the Cowboys would have used all of the 10 minutes and then kick a field goal, technically they would have won and the Packers would have never gotten a chance. So there's some unique rules, but long story short, both teams get an opportunity. Cowboys drove down the field. They kick a field goal. Packers were driving and they had some opportunities. And really, Jordan Love should have lost them the game. There was like 20 seconds, some odd left on the clock, and Jordan Love is not spiking the ball. He's like changing the play, and the clock's ticking, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. And he's going under. He takes the snap at like 9 seconds left, and he's just sitting in the pocket, and at times running out, and he throws it towards the end zone. Ball gets deflected, and there's 1 second left on the clock, so the Packers backdoor a tie. If it should have went the way they went because Jordan Love wasn't paying attention at the time, they should have lost 40-37 in overtime with time expiring because the Packers were not doing a very good job with the time management there at the end. So long story short, it ends up being 40-40 tie. And now we have the Packers who are 2-1-1 and the Cowboys who are 1-2-1 when they face the New York Jets coming up in week 5. But Jordan Love and the Packers did a horrific job with the time management in that game, and that should have cost him. But it was dramatic. It was fun. It was back and forth. What a fun game. I hope we get that matchup again at some point, maybe in the playoffs if both of them make it. But that was entertaining. And hell, Lerch, we build this, or not we, the world build this as the game of the year. Micah Parsons, Sunday Night Football, Packers, Cowboys, a lot of drama. And we don't get a lot of things that live up to the hype. We hype things up and then things happen. We're like, man, that didn't live up. This more than lived up. It was a terrific game.
Yeah, did you see that point? Micah got dinged up somewhat early-ish in the game, and he was mad because they took him into the tent, and he didn't want to be in the tent. He wanted to be out there, and then he almost threw his helmet. It was a whole scene going on.
Yeah, because he was telling the medical people, "Hey, it's my back. I didn't suffer concussion. There is a neutral neurologist that doesn't work for the Cowboys or Packers, works for like the league. It's its own thing, and he's a spotter. And if he senses any players like woozy or anything, he can call down to there's officials on the field that will stop the game and take that player out to get them tested for a concussion. Yeah. These are relatively new rules over the last couple of years. And Micah said, "No, it's my back. My back's hurting, and that's why I'm wincing and limping all over the place. It's not my head." They said, "Sorry." They called from upstairs. We have to evaluate you for a concussion. They bring him in the blue medical tent, go through the concussion protocol. By the time he clears that, okay, he doesn't have a concussion, and he gets out of the blue tent, the Cowboys just scored a touchdown. And he's like so pissed. He wants to spike his helmet down because he couldn't affect that drive, and he was very upset. So, that is what occurred there. Yep.
Yeah, this route that football has gone and trying to keep players safe. I mean, there's a lot of positives to it, but That's an example of, occasionally where guys like, I'm fine.
Yeah, right.
That's unfortunately, that's what players have been saying for years is
Of
I'm
course,
fine.
you can't trust the players.
And they're
right.
not fine. That's,
Yeah.
they
Try
have
to play
that
through it.
warrior mentality and,
Commendable, of course, but still.
commendable, of course. But yeah, I understand why he wanted to be out there. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I've hit everything on my list here. Giants and Dart. You think Dart is the savior? Boy Green, we'll end with that.
You asked me. The Jets and Giants had a preseason game. We got to see Jaxson Dart. It's preseason, of course. But, what did you make of it, Bo? I'm like, man, this kid just looked like he belonged. He had moxie, swagger, of course. Got a ball from point A to point B. And he saw it during the game. Even I saw the full Giants-Chargers game. Here, I didn't have a Jets game to watch. So I got to watch it pillar to post. And the Giants were, at the 3-yard line. They were backed up. And the Chargers brought pressure. Jaxson Dart escaped to the right. And everyone was going deep. And Jaxson Dart calmly, in the middle of a play, is rolling out, and he's telling Darius Slayton, come back. So he has his right hand on the ball because he's a right-handed quarterback who's throwing right, and he's using his left hand, say, come back to me. And then he fires a pass to him and gets it right on the sideline. And I'm like, wow, this guy's just so Joe Cool. And then when he scores this touchdown, he's doing apparently the latest TikTok dance he said on Football Night in America. He said, I don't know, I saw it on TikTok last week, so I thought I'd whip it out and do it as a touchdown celly.
He said, he's a character. He seems to have this confidence.
Yeah, it's infectious.
That's infectious, and you want in a quarterback. I mean, that's a gift. I mean, you take that to the bank. So, yeah, it's.
So I reiterate, Lerch, I don't know how many games the Giants are going to win this year, but they have a belief in this kid. Obviously, you saw it during the game, and his teammates are rallying around him. And no shame to Russell Wilson. It is what it is. He's closer to the end of his journey than the beginning. Jaxson Dart is right at the beginning of this journey. His coach believes in him. His teammates believe in him. The fans believe in him. And while it's obviously a very small sample size so far, especially getting that win immediately, which, like I said, for the Jets tonight is so important to translate the beliefs and things you think versus the results on the field. You can't deny that Jaxson Dart just led the Giants their first victory of the season against one of the best teams in football in the Chargers. I mean, that is tangible results that you can continue to point back to as they move forward with momentum. So, yeah, I think Jaxson Dart has that moxie. I got several texts yesterday from Jet fans saying, hey, see, we should have drafted the Jaxson Dart guy. And apparently the Jets were doing a lot of homework on him. But nonetheless, you just got to give a lot of respect and, chutzpah and credit to Jaxson Dart. He looked terrific.
Yeah, he did. But, I mean, I always like to put the brakes on in these situations. I mean, of course, we're Giants fans. We need anything to get us excited, to be excited about something. And I'm down with that. I understand. I'm not saying, don't get excited. But again, to pull one out of good old Dennis Green's book, don't crown him. A couple of years ago, we were ready to crown C.J. Stroud as the next coming. And I mean, now you watch him for the last year and a half, and you're like, what happened to that guy? Yeah. What happened? Now, part of it is, systemic. Their offensive line really stinks. I mean, they had a decent offensive line when he started, and now it's gotten worse and worse, and they even let their star player walk from that offensive line. So essentially, I mean, part of it is the line, but also what happens sometimes is when things fall apart in front of you, then your confidence wanes. And he just looks like not the same confident player that he was. And
look at this
season of great play, and still it wasn't a done deal. So please, let's not get excited about 1 or 2 games and then say this equates to he's the next Joe Montana. I mean, can we just please not go there? Let's just take it for what it is. Enjoy the ride as it happens without the crowning. We don't need to crown him. He doesn't need a crown. What we need is a competent quarterback. Let him be a competent quarterback first, and then we'll go from there. Let's talk about greatness when he's 7 years into his career and they're competing for things beyond the regular season. Then we can talk about crowning people, okay? And even then, it's probably too early. I always say don't crown people until their career's over.
Yeah.
But I understand. You can't stop that from happening 7 years in, and now you're in it. I mean, like, I'd be the first person in the room to just say, man, this Josh Allen guy is unbelievable. I mean, what I see out of him week in and week out, and what he's become from what we saw at Wyoming to what he is now to what we saw in his very first training camp. We were there.
Yes.
I mean, what a remarkable transformation. So, like, I already think Josh Allen's great. I already think he's going to the Hall of Fame. I already think all these crazy things about him that probably I shouldn't. But that's just now. But that's based on a lot. The
sample size, sure.
This is a big sample size. Okay. Jaxson Dart is a 1-game sample size plus a preseason couple of games. And well, yeah, I'm telling you, we should have done it. Get out of your own way, people. Stop this. Stop it. Because that train has a way of, go right into a brick wall. Just relax. CJ Stroud was the greatest thing ever. Okay. And CJ Stroud is struggling to keep his starting job right now. Okay. So let's easy.
Two things here, by the way. First off, you mentioned the Texans. They traded their star tackle, Laramie Tunsil, right before the season to Washington. That was sort of weird. This morning, they just traded another one of their tackles. Cam Robinson, the veteran, has just been sent to the Cleveland Browns for a swap of late-round picks in 2027. So the Texans continue to ship away their offensive tackle talent. Why? I'm not certain. So that seems sort of odd.
Absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, there's a trade from this morning. And here's my only advice to Jaxson Dart. Not that he asked for it, but, man, take care of yourself, young man. Got a little bit overzealous on a couple of plays. Yeah. Like he escaped a couple of times to, with his feet. And that's a gift. Yeah. He's a runner. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he's a very decent, capable runner. And there's multiple Chargers defenders around him, and he attempted to stiff arm a Chargers defender. That didn't work. His arm went like an accordion back. And then there was another Charger defender he didn't have the awareness of, was behind him, that whacked him and took him to the ground. And Jaxson Dart popped back up and then hunched over. And I was like, man, this is your first game, man. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Your teammates love the moxie and you diving for first downs and doing crazy stuff. But
you don't have to play like
take care
of
of yourself.
You also don't have to play like a lion. You got to.
Correct.
You got to find that happy medium, especially when you're on the loose. You see it all the time. Mahomes knows how to slide now. Even Lamar knows how to slide, and he's maybe the hardest guy to hit in football in terms of quarterbacks. He's always had that. That to me is really the most remarkable thing about
innate ability to just avoid the biggest hit.
We watched him in college for 4 years. The guy, you just couldn't get it. You couldn't hit him
squarely.
Shifts and moves, and his body does things that other people's don't. He can stop on a dime. He's just incredibly athletic, and so it's very hard to stick him straight. He doesn't put himself most of the time in positions, and even when he's vulnerable, he's just too slippery. You just get a piece of him. You never get the whole piece. Dart can run, but he's not like Lamar Jackson. Like I said, he looks more like Josh Allen when he's out there, which is wonderful, but you can't spend your career running over people because you won't have much of a career if you do that in the NFL. The guys are just too big, too fast, and they're just going to take cheap shots at you and extra shots at you, especially when you're the quarterback. Oh my God, that's like, salivating, wildebeests out there or whatever. No, hyenas. That's what I'm thinking of. Salivating hyenas out there going, go get this guy. So don't do that, Jaxson. Let's,
take care of yourself.
The Giants for the next 10 years. That's not a recipe for doing it. Recipe for doing it is stay in the pocket, throw touchdowns, run only when you have to, and when there's a defender coming up, either run out of bounds or slide. That's the way you do it.
100%. Yeah, you just got to take care of yourself. That'd be the only advice from yesterday. Which fired up a lot of fans, but he took a few too many hits that he probably shouldn't have taken.
Yeah, he can't play football like Cam Scatterbo plays football. That would be a bad idea.
What a ramrod fire hydrant of a player. He's unbelievable.
That guy's nuts. He's gonna have a good 3 years in the NFL, and then we'll never see him again. That's what I think.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Love him to death. He's such a phenomenon, but
he's a rhinoceros. He's
just not big enough. He's not Derrick Henry. If you're Derrick Henry, then you can do that to people. He's not. So.
Feisty.
You're only going to get away with it before long, before you separate your shoulder, injure your neck, do something to your back. I mean, the body it can only take so many hits. It can only take so you got to utilize them the right way if you want to play this game for a long, long time. All right. One more reminder again, our today's broadcast again brought to you by our friends at Bayberry Automotive. Boy Green, final thoughts if you have any.
Yeah, it's just two things. So we can't wait for the Jets Cowboys tailgate. I'm getting emails and all kinds of things. So awesome. We will have more information on that throughout the week. We'll promote the heck out of that.
In the comments and said, Jamie, we can go crash the party. Jamie's already going, Al. He's got a ticket. He's going to actually be at the party. So he's not crashing the party. You'd be crashing the party that he's at.
As a matter of fact, Yeah, Al, if you want, I think I have one more ticket, and it could be up. It could be sold here very shortly. So if you're interested, one more ticket sprung available for this. So Al,
Really?
reach. You have.
There's a straight ticket available.
There
huh?
is, which is surprising because of everything that's going on. So, Al, you have ways to contact me. If you are interested in that, you better reach out as soon as possible because the first person to pay me, that's the one who gets the ticket.
Get it over.
So, yeah. So, and the good news is whatever money is raised from this ticket is going to charity, which is awesome, to our Wounded Warrior Project charity. So, Al, if that's your call, reach out ASAP because it's first come, first serve. I'm not waiting for anybody. So, if you guys do have any interest in that, definitely let me know. But yes, so folks, we'll have more updates on that to come, which is going to be awesome. So keep reaching out with all your questions and comments. We'll have more on that. And no, the Jets-Dolphins game tonight. Let's go Jets. I'll be on for my live watch party and play-by-play stream, which will be 4 hours of content. So I'll be on air at 7 o'clock.
Yep. Fair enough. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening again and viewing us. We will be back. Don't forget, again, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, like. We love when you do that as well. Pass along our videos to your friends, your family, anybody else. Get them to subscribe. Again, we're giving away that $400 golf club once we get to 500. So we're on the road to 500 now and looking to get there sooner rather than later. We will be back again Wednesday, another live show. We'll have Dalton Wasserman, our NFL insider. So we'll break down everything, including that breaking story that we talked about at the very beginning of the show. Malik Neighbors now out for the year. It is indeed a torn ACL. He will undergo surgery. So the Giants without their top receiver for the rest of this season. That we found out. So we'll talk some more with Dalton about that and any other injuries. We've got the Monday Night Football to recap as well. We'll do the recap of our 4 fantasy leagues, throw up a little graphic, show you where everybody is standing in the leagues. We'll get that ready for you on Wednesday. For those of you that are in our fantasy leagues or want to know what's going on in our little world of fantasy football, we'll see how that all turns out. And we've got Bud Poliquin tomorrow, Anthony Prohaska joining us on Thursday as usual. Jake Asman will be with us again talking Jets this week. Ed Valentine will be with us talking Giants again this week. Do we have our enemy territory lined up yet? I haven't heard anything.
We do not. Also, Brett LaBelle live Wednesday night for
Survivor.
Survivor.
Don't forget that. Yeah, I want to promote that. Yeah, let me do that real quick for anybody that's still in the room, or pass it along to your friends. We've added a live show to our weekly repertoire, and this one's in the evening on Wednesday nights. It will be right after the Survivor episode, normally at 9:45. We actually had to do it at 10:15 this past week. We didn't realize it was a 2-hour
special
opening episode. So normally the episodes are 90 minutes. So about 15 minutes after the episode ends, which is at 9:30, Brett LaBelle joins us and we do a Survivor post-game show. Now, Brett is actually going to be at something this week, so he's getting us someone else to join us for the post-game or the post-show this coming Wednesday. But every single Wednesday we'll have Survivor friends and families and former contestants on the show with us, and we do half hour to 45 minutes on Survivor, break down the episode. What do we like, what do we hate, who got eliminated, how did it all go? It's a lot of fun. You can jump in the comments and talk with us and talk with our insider as well. So that's on Wednesday nights, about 10 minutes after the Survivor show ends.
And we will have a content out with Brett, even though Brett's not going to be able to join us for the live show. We will do our fantasy draft for Survivor.
Yes.
That's an additional piece of content. So just stay tuned. Here's the best way. Subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. Again, that is MC Show Digital. So again, I'll throw it up on the screen. Here it is. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. Hit all notifications. You'll get live pre-recorded content, all of it. You'll never miss it. So again, subscribe right now. Again, because you get great content. And the other reason, you get a chance to win a lot of free stuff. So it's a deal you can't beat.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so a lot of good content coming as usual this week as we head our way towards next weekend and the big Jet event that Boy Green and his Boy Green Daily channel are putting on with Chef. Is it Kevin?
Yeah, Chef Kevin Gilbert.
Kevin?
Yep.
All right, we'll be there, and the DJ.
Sure.
All right, it's gonna be a real hoot. We'll take lots of pictures and lots of videos, and we'll share it all out with you when we get back from that trip over the weekend. Jets and the Cowboys. Ooh, the Cowboys looked pretty good last night, Boy Green. I hope they don't look as good when they play the Jets.
We'll see what happens.
Weekend. And I told you this morning, my number one, I call him number one Cowboy fan, my buddy Victor, he actually is going to be at the game. I didn't know.
Nice.
He's going to be at the game, so maybe I'll let him swing by and say hello to us at the tailgate if he's there early.
Sure.
And I got to return those Cowboys jerseys to him, which, that's
Yeah.
make my life a lot easier. So
There you go.
well, the
Minus
jerseys
the
I'll be
shipping.
wearing a Jets jersey. I have to bring the
Yeah.
Eli jersey for some video shoots.
And give a
then
Cowboys
have,
jersey away.
2
Yeah.
Cowboys jerseys, the Roger Staubach autographed and the Micah Parsons no longer operable.
Yes,
Cowboys
right. Jersey, you got to return that. And I'll answer this last second question coming in from Craig Hatch. BG, is it true that general manager Darren Muji was at the Penn State game scouting? Yes, he was looking at Drew Lar, the Penn State quarterback, over the weekend. We had the Penn State-Oregon game, a top 10 battle in college football. Yes, Jets general manager Darren Muji was there, and a healthy Jets contingent. Apparently, they're very interested in the Penn State star quarterback. We'll see what all that means. Thank you for that last second question, Craig.
Okay. All right. That'll do it for our live broadcast today. Everybody stay tuned. Lots more content coming out the rest of the week. We'll see you live again on Wednesday or Wednesday night. All right. We've got a very, very busy Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Peace out.